Hey everybody, and welcome back. Alright, so I'm still poorly. Actually, I feel fine, but I just tested this morning and I'm still positive. Linda tested negative last Friday. I tested positive again, and I just checked this morning because I had to phone the urology people, because I have an appointment coming up there, and they phoned actually from the ultrasound one. They don't talk to each other. You know, they were trying to arrange the ultrasound for a date after I saw the urologist. So I thought, well, that's a bit pointless because he wants to see the thing. So anyway, just have to wait it out, I suppose. But as I say, I feel fine. I just got a bit of sort of phlegmy stuff, and that's about it. Headache's gone. Other than that, pretty good. So, oh, good. Thank you. I just noticed a piece on the frame there that I painted it right, but it should have been sanded out. So as you can see, anyway, I've brought everything in, and I had a load of stuff arrive. So brake shoes came. By the way, it's bloody freezing here. It's like in the teens at night and the 20s during the day. So that's what? It's about -5 during the day and -10 at night centigrade. So it's bloody cold. Luckily we're going to miss all that heavy snow, but we've still got snow here. Alright, so they came. Petrol tap came. Now I had to order a new one. I don't know if I mentioned, because the thread into the Greaves tank is 1/8 BSP, not 1/4 inch, which the other one of this is, and most of them are. Apart from the BSAs, the BSAs are 3/8. So you can get a thing to fit them to take the 1/4 inch. But I didn't have a 1/8 BSP, and I've lined the tank and everything. So of course I have to clean the threads up. So I checked place. I've just got a load of BSF Allen bolts for the cases. I checked with them because that's where in the past I've always got my British thread taps and dies, and an 1/8 inch BSP one was $90. What's that, 60 odd quid? So great, I'll probably never ever use it again because the 1/4 inch tap is, common. BSAs and stuff like that. So just out of interest, I sort of Googled it, and a bunch of places had them. I guess because it's a pipe thread. So I checked McMaster Car, where I get all my other stuff, because theirs is generally pretty good stuff. $26. So I got a tap so I can do that. I welded that all up, and I've just given it a little quick coat of paint to match up. Also, these things for the fork, what I did was I made up another piece to go around and welded that in the top, and that is now the OD of that is nice tight fit inside the gator. So we can start building up. What I'd like to do this week, because I still feel, my head's itchy. Oh, here's the thing. The instructions for the ultrasound were to drink 24 ounces of water an hour before I'm due for doing it. That's a pint and a half. But then she said, and don't use the bathroom. So I said to her, that's not going to happen. Oh, just do your best. I said, not at my age, pet. Anyway, so that'll be interesting. So what was I saying? So yeah, well, what I would like to do this week, was I saying that I still feel I'm still sort of out of energy, but I'm bored, which is why I came to the workshop. I'd like to get up a complete rolling chassis. So put the brake shoes in the wheels, swinging arm in, put forks in. So there's stuff to do with the forks, because I've got to, with these forks, the damping part is sort of loose in here. And in this top, even in the There's one of the proper nuts. See, it's drilled and threaded there. The damper rod screws into that and it has a lock nut on. So I've got to pull them up and screw them into this, put some oil in so we sort of finish the fork off completely, and then we can put the forks in. And I still have to make the 2 spacing pieces that go into where the swinging arm pivot goes. Some of the paint didn't come out brilliantly, but then maybe I was already starting to feel a bit iffy when I did it, so maybe I wasn't concentrating as well. Anyway, what I'm going to do with the 2 pieces, that are going to go in here, as the piece of the frame in the middle, is the one on this side I'm going to make out of the Delron stuff and just have it a nice sort of slidey fit to act as a rubbing block. I was going to put it on as a rubbing block, and then I thought, wait a minute, if I put it there, which is just nicely where the chain will hit it, because it doesn't hit there, if I make it so it can turn as well, then if the chain catches it, it's not only rubbing on something, but it can make it spin. So I'm going to do that. This side I'm going to do an alloy one. But you remember how rusted in this was. I want to keep the water out of it. So what I'm going to try and do is put a couple of O-rings on. 2 at each side. So that they'll keep the water from getting in. We'll look at that as we make the pieces. Anything else to say? Don't think so. I've got to sort of sit down. Oh, I've still got to do that vent for the oil tank. Got to sit down and make sure. I started to lay engine stuff out. Make sure I have everything, because it just struck me I don't think I have that thinner oil seal that goes on the crankshaft on the drive side, because you know we have to machine a little bit off. There's a little lip which the smaller sprocket catches on, so we have to machine that off, and then that reduces the depth for the oil seal. So there's a thinner oil seal that fits in. I might have one. I'm almost sure I bought 2 the last time I did one of these engines, so if I look in the BSA boxes I might have one there. Otherwise I've just got to order one of them. But I'm going to try and go through and see what I need. I'm pretty sure I've got everything, but there's always something, as you've seen in the past. Okay, so let me, I've got some measurements for those things. Let me have a look at some O-rings and then we'll fire the lathe up and see about making a couple of spacing pieces. Right then, had a little bit of luck. Just checked in my box of ready made up spacers and I found this one which is just right, 5/8 internal diameter and everything. And bugger me, when I put 2 O-rings on and measured, it was 1.164 I think, and I'd measured this spacer that I wanted it to be 1.165. So when that's all there and pushed up tight, that should stop the water getting in, but it'll still of course turn alright. Of the swinging arm will pivot, there won't be any friction there. So I'm going to paint that black to match up with the one that goes on this side, because that's going to be, as I say, the stuff whose name I've forgotten already, even though I just said it a few minutes ago. So let's go and get some of that black stuff and make some measurements and turn up a piece to go there. Alright, I didn't paint this because that isn't black, it's grey, and I thought, well, if it's not going to match, it's not going to match, so who cares. So we'll see if my measurements are right. If I'd have been really clever here, of course, I would have put O-ring grooves to hold the O-rings. So we're going to have to fiddle around to get this to go in. So it may be that I'll start filming it and then it'll suddenly stop because I'll have said bugger this and switched you off. So the first thing is to get this in. Don't forget we've now got a couple of coats of paint. Actually, you know what might make this easy? To put one of the rear suspension units on to hold that end. So let me get one. Alright, so I've put one of them in there and that's holding that, so I'm not having to hold up the weight at the other end. Well then, am I in your way yet again? That is a mile out. What have I mismeasured? So is that one. What the hell's going on here? Before I took this apart, I measured those gaps and they came out at 1.165 and 1.650 on the other side. Hold on. I'm going to blame COVID. This one, the short one, goes on the other side. This goes on that side. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Hang on, let me move you around the other side so I'm not in the way. Oh, right. Where are we? Because now I put things down. There's the two O-rings for that one. There's one O-ring. Ah, there's one. All right, people. I know the other O-rings come out. We're going to try and fit it in. Where's it gone? Did anybody see where it fell? That's a big lorry. Well, where the hell did that go? Oh, there it is. No, Michael. The alloy one does go on this side. I must have swapped my measurements over. Well, seeing as this fits this side, I'm going to make another one for the other side, and then they will match, won't they? This is just nice. This is squishing this up. Let's see if I can put a screwdriver in there. Squish the top rubber enough. Bigger screwdriver. Thought I needed a weenie one. as I said, this is going to be a fiddly diddly thing. That's moved out. I'm going to turn you off because I'm going to be fiddling around here for a while. Let me get this one in and then I'll have to make up the other side. Alright, so I made another one. I just had enough Delron left to do it. So as I say, that one just nicely turns. That one turns as well because it's got the, but that's really stiff. That one, chain hit that. That will do that, I think. Do you know what? Did I make that the wrong size again? Should that have been larger diameter than this? I don't think I'm thinking straight. Anyway, if the need comes, I can always put a rub strip on there. Did I mean to make that bigger than the... God, I bet I did. Well, at least I can always knock it out and put another one in. I mean, it's not the end of the world. But I've got a funny feeling that I should have made that larger diameter than this. Shouldn't I? You gormless bugger. Oh well, let's press on. Right, so the next thing we'll put in is the yokes. I've got the bearing in the top. Oh, I haven't greased that and I'm running out of battery. I've just changed the battery. Obviously the spare one I'd never recharged. I've packed the bearing with grease, but I'll just put another bit in there. So if it suddenly stops, you know what it is, and I don't have another battery. Well, not another charged one. Oh, I got all dirty again. Oh well. Tight on that bearing. Alright, let me tighten that up. So that's tightened up, top yoke's on, pitch bolts in and things like that. So that's enough for today. See you in the morning. Good morning. Right, well, feeling about the same. Bloody freezing outside and it's snowing, so I've put one fork in here. I'll show you the one and then we'll do the other, then I can just do the other one. Alright, so normally you would be screwing a nut out, and normally this would be in the yokes because you couldn't get at it otherwise. So as I say, down in there we have a damper rod which is threaded. So what I'm going to do is bring it up a bit. There it is. And what I'm going to do here just clamp that on there so it doesn't fall back in. Now the first thing we're going to do is put some oil in. 190ml according to the book. And this is what I ended up, this is 1030, and I found with the other B44 forks, whoops, come on, that it was about right. So So there's 190mm goes in there. So what I've done is I've put 200mm in the measurer, and then there's going to be about 10mm of clingage left. Now then, this goes up to there like so. Then we'll bring that up, tighten that. That off there. And there's a text message for me. That on. And there's one done. So let me do the other one, and then we'll put them in the yolks. Alright, we're missing a bit. It just struck me then, and I've got to check the parts book. On the top of that rod, there's, I don't know if you noticed, there was like a little spring clip. That spring clip is to hold, it calls it an oil seal, but it's just like a thick rubber washer. And I seem to remember that neither of my suppliers had them. I'm pretty sure they were on my original list to get. But it doesn't matter, because I can take the top yoke off and screw these out and just put one on when I get some. So we're not going to let it hold us up. So let me do the other fork. Alright, I think it'd be easier to put the forks in first, and then I can have get the front wheel and get it stood, then put the back wheel in. So anyway, that's the way we're going to go. Oh, pardon me. Alright, so this is this side. So in goes that. Can you see there? Then on goes that. Then you just pop this on there. Another one of those. Just pop this on there. Come on now. Just get over that little lip. That's all you've got to do. Here we go. That's it. Then we'll put these on. These actually, what I did was I put a clip round, Jubilee clip round, and then I had a big round ball, and I flared the edges a little bit because the headlamp ears, when they come down, they get bolted there, they stick down a little bit. They have a little flare to them that goes into a slot in here. So, and I did these black to match the to match the gator rather than the forks. Although actually, you know, again, it's another one of those cases where they're not really black, are they? So I think I can push this up in here. I don't think I need the puller. That is that a 13? Yes, should be a 13. Should be another 13. Of course, I don't have. Where's my other 13? Anyway, I'll tighten that up in a minute. All right, so there's one. Oh, I've got to put the Jubilee clips on. I mean, I can open them right out, but let me put the Jubilee clip on both ends. I've got some small ones. Oh, that end's really tight. And then we'll put the other fork in. Now, this is the beauty of the Japanese system. See, if this was the BSA yoke, that would have had to be pulled into taper. And when I was putting these bearings in, and of course don't forget there would be ball bearings, you're messing around getting the bottom yoke in, you have the top brace in with the balls, and then you've got to put the yoke on because the yoke holds the two bearings in, whereas this has that nice little nut. So when I come round to making some pieces to cover these, and as we now know, I've got to put that little rubber thing in, I can just, this is all nicely clamped up, I can just take this top yoke off. Alright, so enough blather. Let me put the other one in fact, and then I'll do the gaiters. So let me switch you off. So I have met with partial success. These fit on here beautifully, but I didn't get big enough ones. They could have done with being slightly bigger. I got them on, but they're a bit tight and they won't go anywhere near these. I needed 3.5 inch ones for there. And I got 2.5 inch for there, and I think they should have been a bit more. So I'll have to get a couple more clips, but at least as you can see, they're staying on, which, as you may remember, last time they just wouldn't. So they'll be fine when I get another couple of clips. So let's put the front mudguard stay on. I think these batteries have about come to the end of their life. I just put a new one in this morning, well, charged up, and it's showing red already. So I think we'll have to buy another one or two. They're not cheap either. But I've had the camera quite a long time. It's one of those things that when I bought it, it was extremely expensive, but you know, there's been several models out since. I do need a 1 inch bolt there. Hang on, let me switch you off. Right, that's that on. I'm going to let it stand on the forks. I've put it up on here, so I'm going to put the back wheel in, then I can jack it here to lift the front up to get the front wheel and that in. So let me put some brake shoes on the back wheel. Alright, it's another day and it's even colder. Highest is going to be today's 15, that's minus 10 centigrade. So, put the back wheel and stuff in yesterday and put the rear mudguard in, brake cables on. Thank you. So, I'm going to put the front mudguard in, put the front wheel in, handlebars on, stuff like that. I still have to get a little piece of something to make a flap there. Get that done before I put the oil tank and everything in, but that's that. So it's starting to look something like this chock tube really flexes. I had to sort of pull this out a bit to get the bolt in there. And I'm damned if I can find the 5/16, the long 5/16 bolt that goes in there. So I will have to, oh, I'm dirty as well. What I'm going to have to do, keep this in. I put this in so that I could jack it up high enough, because jacking it here I couldn't get it up high enough. But I'm going to have to put this in. So I've got to sort out the bolts for here, because the only ones I have are a bit long. And get another 5/16 one here, which has to be crikey, with a nut 7 1/4 inches long, something like that, because that's one of those stupid sizes. I bet you it'll go jump from 7 to 9 inches, something like that. But anyway, I'm going to have to do that, put them in and put the front one in. I can leave the plates loose, swing it down out the way to make it really easy to put the engine in and swing this back up. As long as that is fastened to that, that'll hold everything right. Okay, so I've got painted the brake plate. So let me put the brake shoes on and then we'll put the front wheel in. So, brake shoes. I've greased the pivot and everything. I'm just putting the springs on. Now, I'm sure there's going to be comments, don't do it this way, do it another way, and I've put that one on the wrong way around, look. But all I can say is the same as always, been doing it this way for a long time, works for me. Or as I think I've mentioned this in the past, there's a sort of mobile welding repair fella down in Texas that I watch occasionally called IC Weld. And one of the things he said several times is, look, this isn't the way to do it, this is the way I do it. So you'll fold them up. This varies on how strong the springs are. Put one side on. I always have a screwdriver handy because you've very often got to pop them up to fit on. Oh, they went on remarkably easily. Okay, so that's them. That goes on there. Alright, I've lost that. No, I haven't. I was going to say I've lost this. I'm not sure how that goes on now. We'll have to put it on when the wheel's in. Alright, let me put the that needs cleaning up as well. Let me put the front mudguard on and then we'll see about putting this wheel in. That timing worked out well. Just as I was getting ready, the compressor ran and it's just this second switched off. Okay. Thought I got this about the right height. Okie doke. Now then. How the hell did this go in here? This goes round here, doesn't it? Nah, I'm going to have to put that on. I think. Maybe not. Alright, so this wants to go in there. Excuse me a moment. I'm just going to jack that up a bit more. There we go. This comes around here. That little spacer. Go in this other side, like that. And that goes in there. Goes in there. Thusly so. Then I have a nut to put on this side. We won't tighten things up until we know where the torque arm that go, because I think I can swing that round and that'll go inside. Yes, it will. And we have a bolt to go in there. Hang on, bolt. I've just said that is. We will put a bit of grease on that. So we're on schedule anyway for this week. I was just wanting to get it rolling chassis and the tank done. So the tank is got some. Oops. Nearly fell over. Oh, hang on. All these stainless steel bolts I get have the ends stamped or whatever, so I like to turn that off. So let me do that. Okay. See, that top looks much nicer now. Right, so I've also put this on so I can see where things are going. That doesn't look right. I've put it on upside down. There's a... Yeah, that's the wrong way up. And that washer shouldn't go on there. The washer should go on this side. I don't know. See, on this side here, it's got a couple of little nubs cast in, and they're to capture that. So there's no washer there, so I don't know why I've got that washer there. Anyway, let's see, which way is this going to go on? It's going to go on that way. Yeah, that definitely fits into there, so I don't know where that washer came from. Let's see. And that goes on there. Like that. Let me that is going to go on there like. Gonna have to get my head in the way again, excuse me. What the hell's going on here? That doesn't go there like that. That'll be in the way of that. That's got to go to the top one, is it? No, because then that'll catch. Well, there it goes. Right, so that's going to go in like that. Now I'm going to put the handlebars on so I know where the cable is. Well, I hope the heating isn't roaring too much, but it's cold today, so it came on. Alright. Where does that need to be? Let's put our levies in. What was that? Something moved. Don't know what that little noise was. See, I should have marked this before I took it off, shouldn't I? So that's got to go on there. Oh, come on. About like that. Now I'm going to put a little mark on there so I can see it, then take this off, swivel it round and put it on right. So there it is. All in, just in time for lunch. Everything bolted up and that spins. I had to take this off and move it round one. It's amazing with splines, isn't it? You move it one tooth and it went from actually grabbing a little bit to having to take up adjustment at both ends. But anyway, that is fine. So as I say, it's lunchtime. Actually, I suppose all I've got to look at now is the tank. So anyway, let me go and have something to eat. Right, so I've put the bottom cradle in, the engine mount plates on. This is really annoying me. That's just a piece of 1/4 inch rod. I made that 5/16 bolt up because I didn't have one, and now I'm damned if I can find it. So anyway, that is now sort of held right, and I'm pretty sure I can get the engine in. As I say, if need be, what I can always do is take this bolt out and drop the plate forward to get the engine in. But anyway, that's another day done. So I'll see you tomorrow. Welcome to another cool day. It's a painting day as well, so I've got the heating turned up and things to get everything warmed up. Sanded the tank, so thought while I was waiting for stuff, I've put the prop stand off, put a bit of rubber on, put the footrests on, got the spring on the other side. I need that to flip up out the way for the kickstart, which we still haven't really organised. Still haven't found that 5/16 bolt I made for there, which is annoying. So, as I say, there's not going to be much for you to watch today, but I think we're up to 40 odd minutes. Excuse me. So I'm going to paint the tank today, and that'll be about all. So you might as well spend the day doing whatever you want and come back this afternoon, and by then I'll probably have the tank painted. Well, it's Saturday. I just came out, put the tank on, which I got painted, that came out nicely. I'm a little disappointed in the saddle. Not the saddle itself, it's beautiful, but I underestimated how much it would crush down. I could have done with another almost inch of foam. If that had come right up to that as I thought it would, that would look perfect. But there you go. I mean, as I say, he got the curve, he curved it that way as well for the mudguard. It's really perfect. But I didn't think the foam had crushed down that much. There's like an inch and a half, because the foam comes in increments, and he had inch and he had 2 inch and 3 inch and what have you. So when we were talking, he said, oh, I can put some 1/2 inch on. He said that'll almost disappear, and put that all the way around, because the other thing I asked for was to round the edges, because you remember how square it was. So now it looks, as I say, it looks gorgeous. It needs to be 1/2 inch higher at the front. So mildly annoying. But anyway, everything goes on. All we have now, I did have another, have another annoyance. I made the stud to go in here, and I made one up and I made it too short, so I was really annoyed. So I was very careful, made another one up, and it was just nice. And then, oh, hang on, excuse me again. I've put there's the vent on there. Ooh, man, I made this one a tight fit. And I could have slot in that. So I needed to know where the vent was going to go. And when I put that on, I realised that this mounting goes on the outside of that. So I didn't want to make it the length to fit this piece. I needed to make it the length for that. Luckily, I made it slightly longer, because the first one had been too short. I thought, I'm going to make this a 1/4 of an inch longer, and I can shorten it if need be. And I hadn't shortened it, so it just fits and gives me a full nut with a lock washer on either side. So anyway, I still haven't found this 5/16. I've cut the bolts at the front to the right size as well. So I still have this flap to make for here, but they're all on nicely. I did it in the same Greaves red because I had paint. And they're a very, very slight run there, but it still needs sanding and polishing that out. But that's annoyed me. You know, we can't see it from that angle, but it literally is 1/2 inch. But that looks fine. That will be fine. Alright, so next week. Oh, the other important piece of news. It says today's Saturday. Thursday evening I tested negative for COVID. So I was able to go to Mike's yesterday and go to the library and stuff. So that's all good. Got a little tiny bit of mucus still, but it was interesting actually. I looked it up because somebody told Linda that the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control, had changed their guidelines about not isolation, whatever the word is, and they're not basing it on the testing now. They're basing it on symptoms, that once your symptoms have gone, you can come out of Oh God, old age. Not isolation. You know the word I mean. Like when you bring pets into the UK. Quarantine. And I thought, well, that's stupid. Because your symptoms are purely subjective. You know? Some people get the least little sniffle and they think they're dying of the flu. So anyway, we had test kits, so I took a test on Thursday and it was negative. So again, thank you for all the people. I've had emails, all sorts, who wished me and Linda the best with our COVID. As I say, luckily we didn't have any bad symptoms, no fevers, no vomiting, none of that stuff. It was just like a bad cold. Now it's done. So that's that. So as I say, next week we'll spread out all the engine stuff. I've more or less got that done. I started sandblasting the head with the other grip. Get the engine built, get it in and see what's what. Bugger. Oh, I still got to make these things for the front. Alright, that's it for this week. See you on Monday. So till then, stay safe and enjoy yourselves.